Is ignorance really bliss? When you get to realize how people are so fooled by the false fake news and the media that they are so clueless of the issues at hand. Just take a sampling of an average person who shows up to a protest against Israel, how ignorant they really are. And ignorance is not bliss at all, but rather ignorance is very painful and very hurtful and extraordinarily damaging. And that's what we found since October 7. The average person who attends these protests are totally clueless, are so ignorant, so naive, that it's so pathetic to even think about it, that they themselves don't know what they're protesting. They don't even know the issues at hand. Listen to this interview of just regular people who showed up to protest pro-Hamas, pro-Palestinian, and they have no clue whatsoever about the facts on the ground, what they are protesting.
So I just noticed the signs that you got from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. What does that mean?
Well, it's quite self-explanatory. It needs to be.
Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, isn't it? Because I guess what I mean is, how would that come about? What would happen to the Israelis, etc.?
I don't.
I'm trying to think of how to word it. Isn't it just as self-explanatory as the area of land? It's Palestine's land.
Yeah. So when you say Palestine, which bit do you mean?
Yeah, the Gaza Strip.
Gaza Strip?
The West Bank.
West Bank?
Yeah.
That's it?
I don't know. Is there another
I thought it was self-explanatory. I'm getting confused now. I thought it was self-explanatory. What about either of you?
Bullshit question.
It's a bullshit question. Why? Well, tell me, why is it bullshit?
I'm not fucking getting involved in this, but it's so like inflammatory.
Right?
No, it's just really inflammatory.
Asking what that sign means.
Yeah.
It's inflammatory. Why is that?
I'm not getting involved.
Okay. All right. I didn't say anything. I was just asking what it meant.
Oh.
Do you agree with the sign?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, of course.
And what does it mean to you?
Palestinians to be free, you know?
Well, it says Palestine, so I was asking them which bit of the area.
Yeah, the people that are being oppressed, for them to be free, you know?
Yeah.
Gaza, West Bank, them people to be free, yeah.
Gaza and West Bank.
Yeah, all Palestinians in general, you know, because we know that what's going on. All of them are being oppressed, so for them to be free, you know, it's nothing, you know, it's clear as day, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was just asking them which bit of the land they mean, because some people mean all of the land, including the bit where Israel is now, and that's why there's some debate about, you know, what that means.
I think the main message is Palestinians that are being oppressed, for them to be free, you know, and for everyone to live in harmony, regardless of your religion or whatever it is, because historically speaking, we say Muslims, Jews, Christians have been living there for centuries, you know, living in good peace. But when early in recent times, all of this issue has been going on, you know. But I think it's
how long would you say this issue has been going on?
As far as I know, obviously I'm not as educated on this topic, for example, with other people, but for roughly around 75 years since I think the mandate from 45, just before after World War, I think is when the issues, you know, when the British came and started cutting up lands and taking the lands of the Palestinians, I think that's when the issue started, you know.
Well, yeah, before that you had the Ottoman Empire there, which had very strong control over the area. Yeah, that makes sense.
Any attack on civilians is not justified, you know, regardless of whatever happened, you know. But I think the issue really what is the origin of this problem, you know? History has not started October 7, you know. We have to see the real origin of this was, as I said, 75 years ago. Obviously, I'm not as educated on this topic, but because what I see now is this whole issue is being portrayed as if civilization and history started from October 7th and onwards. But no, that's not the real, that's only aspect. The whole issue is obviously, as we said, from 70, 80 years ago, and I think that contributes to what is going on today from both sides, from the Palestinian side as well as the Israeli side.
All right, so we are now heading off from Bank towards Parliament, which is where the protest is supposed to, and it's kind of loose at the moment. There is a lot of people here, but it's not jam-packed as we've seen at some other protests. We've had a few conversations with people, obviously. Very interesting takeaways. I mean, when you talk to people about what, let's say, from the river to the sea means, a lot of them don't really, we had one group that said it was self-explanatory, and when I asked them to explain it, didn't really happen. Build a new Workers' Party, a socialist alternative to Sunak and Starmer for a socialist intifada.
Yeah.
What's a socialist intifada?
If I'm being honest with you, I just got this at the stand over there.
Okay.
I don't actually know the definition of the word intifada.
Okay.
But, I mean...
Do any of you know the definition of the word intifada? Stop bombing Gaza, that makes sense. What about that one?
From the river to the sea.
Yeah. And what does that mean?
Well, it means it's to stop the Israeli occupation of Palestine.
From which river to which sea?
River Jordan.
From
the west bank of the River Jordan.
from the Jordan to the Mediterranean Sea, yeah. So does that mean that all of Israel should be, what is now Israel, should be Palestine, in your opinion?
No, I personally don't think that. I think I'm definitely not the person to talk to about this, but I know that there's multiple strategies that people have come up with, like a two-state solution or one-state solution. I think ideally I would like to see one multi-faith state that is neither Israel nor Palestine.
Walking with this protest, there's definitely a much younger demographic here than the March Against Anti-Semitism which we attended at the end of last year. That matches up well with the evidence which shows that young people are more likely to support Palestine than Israel in this conflict.
And this is what we are dealing with globally. It's ignorance. It's just so sad that people don't take the time to do the research, do the due diligence, and be conscientious before you talk. Be knowledgeable, educate yourself before you take a side. How quickly is it that people are so easy to hate and to take the side of the terrorists, to take the side of the brutal, barbaric terrorists, before educating themselves and knowing the facts on the ground. And unfortunately, when you deal with ignorance, when you deal with uneducated individuals who just react to the fake news, to react to what's popular at the time, obviously, at time, eventually we'll catch up with them when they'll be more educated and more enlightened and learn the facts of what is going on in the Middle East. Learn the facts of who the Palestinians are. Learn the facts of how Israel has attempted since 1948 to make peace with its neighbors. Learn the facts of how many thousands of Israelis are butchered and murdered by terrorists. Learn the facts of who started the war on October 7. Learn the facts of what Hamas has done to Gaza and to all of its citizens. When you learn the facts and you know the truth, you're able to separate the truth from the lies, then not only will you be more educated, but you would be more understanding and supportive and being on the right side of history. God bless you. God loves you.